Welcome to the Faculty of Life Science virtual celebration event for our final year students, the class of 2020. My name's Professor Jeremy Tavaret, and I'm the Dean of the Faculty, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all today. Today, we were expecting to welcome you to your graduation ceremonies in person. Instead, we're here together online, but taking a really important opportunity to celebrate the completion of your time with us, so welcome. As you will have heard, this is not a virtual graduation event. You will all be invited back to celebrate your awards when we're able to safely hold these events. But we do hope that today gives you a chance to reflect on your time living and studying in the university and in the city, and to look to your future. Some 5,000 of our students, both undergraduate and postgraduate, are finishing their studies at Bristol this summer. Today, we celebrate the students from our Faculty of Life Sciences, you, who have studied in our schools of biological sciences, biochemistry, cell and molecular medicine, physiology, pharmacology and neuroscience, and psychological science. Welcome to all of you. You are graduating from a really important faculty within the University of Bristol. Researchers in every single one of our schools have been part of the 150-strong team across the faculty and university that focused their efforts on the virus that causes COVID-19. And as soon as we went into lockdown, we were one of only 2 universities at that point in the UK that was growing the virus. Since then, our scientists have been developing new approaches to developing vaccines and antibodies that can neutralize the virus, identifying the mechanism by which the virus invades cells in the respiratory tract, looking at how misinformation about the virus spreads around the world and what we can do to counteract this. Lucy Yardley from psychology has been a very important member of the government advisory group SAGE, advising government on human behavior during the pandemic. And we are one of the largest recruiting sites in the world for the so far positive clinical trial of the Oxford vaccine. Never have I been prouder of the contribution that our science and our scientists and our students play in benefiting society. I'm sure you're proud too, as you will most certainly been taught by at least one of the researchers in this 150 strong group. But now on to the celebration today. I want to give a warm welcome to our guest speakers, Professor Sarah Purdy, Pro-Vice Chancellor for Student Experience, Lucy Jobson-Wood, final year student in Biomedical Sciences and outgoing President of the Biomed Society, and our special guest, Sir Paul Nurse, the Chancellor of the University and a Nobel Prize winning geneticist in cell biology and current director of the Francis Crick Institute. Finally, we're joined by some of the faculty staff and many familiar faces that you'll know, and I think they're all going to give you a little wave. Thank you. So, before we get started today, a few housekeeping notes for you and what to expect for the next hour. You'll see there's a chat function that's open for you to use. Please do, but please do use this responsibly, because remember, this is a celebration event and everybody can see all the comments. You will have seen your pre-submitted messages for staff, supporters, your peers, rolling out before the event. These will be shown at the end of the event as well. You can continue to submit these throughout, and the link will be posted in the chat. You will see a Q&A button below where you can submit questions during the event for Sir Paul, and I will read out as many of those questions as I can. And the event will be recorded to share with those who are unfortunately unable to join us live. If you want to use any social media during the event, please use hashtag #BristolClassOf2020. Finally, and very importantly, we are really delighted to have our BSL interpreters, Catherine and Naomi, with us today. Thank you. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce the Pro-Vice Chancellor for Student Experience, Professor Sarah Purdy. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Jeremy, and hello, everyone. So, Faculty of Life Sciences, Class of 2020, congratulations on reaching the end of your studies here at Bristol. This is a seminal moment for you, the culmination of your education to date, and a proud moment for us. So we come together to celebrate this moment, to reflect on your time at Bristol and to share a few words of advice as you embark on the next stage of your journey. As Jeremy said, we want to make clear that today's proceedings are emphatically not intended to be a substitute for your in-person graduation ceremony. The class of 2020, like all of the classes before you, deserves to experience that extraordinary rite of passage in the traditional way, and we hope to provide that for you as soon as it's safe and practical to do so. I'm also aware that as we reflect on your time at Bristol, you have not all yet received your awards, but you should be proud of completing your studies. I know from my own experience and the experience of those close to me that the final year of a degree programme can be nerve-wracking at the best of times. All of those hours in lectures, in practicals and seminars, the hours in the library or trying to find a quiet spot to study. And your hard work and sheer determination to succeed has brought you all to this point in time. Alas, your final few months here at the university have not been what any of us would have wished for, and nothing about this term has been normal. Many of you have been unable to say goodbye to your friends and lecturers in person, or to celebrate the end of your exams, or even say a fond farewell to Bristol, which has been your home for the past few years. But I, for one, am incredibly proud of what you've achieved in the face of this adversity. Despite that disruption to nearly every aspect of daily life and the associated emotional toil which many of you have been through, the class of 2020 has continued to work diligently in pursuit of the knowledge and skills needed to obtain your degree from Bristol. As we look ahead to an uncertain future, that degree will be a badge of excellence, recognised around the world as a hallmark of academic and intellectual achievement. But more than this, your success over this period will be a testament to your individual resilience and your adaptability to change, qualities highly prized by employers and invaluable personal attributes for navigating life's many trials and tribulations. And it's not just your academic response to recent events that has to be commended. Many of you have shown great care, support and compassion to those around you, which are qualities prized by society at large. At the height of a public health crisis, you stood tall and shone bright, living out Bristol's values of responsibility and respect. Many of you have supported food banks, developed online education resources, fundraised for good causes, supported vulnerable members of our community and local charities dealing with the impact of the pandemic. This support isn't only greatly appreciated by those directly affected, it's greatly appreciated by us as the university. Throughout your time at Bristol, you've been a credit to the city and our community. The university's motto is "Learning promotes one's innate power." As you come to the end of your studies, I hope your time at Bristol has helped you to unlock your own innate power and equip you with the skills and knowledge you need to become a leader in your chosen field. And I know that many of you won't have necessarily even chosen that field yet. As we look ahead, it seems as though global society is in the midst of an era-defining transition. And in terms of such turbulence, new opportunities will present themselves. Choices will open up. Sometimes those choices will be clear-cut and require little consideration. Others can be opaque and difficult to assess. That doesn't make them any more or less significant. My advice is think carefully about which path you wish to take. Where could your talents and interests take you? If that path is not immediately clear, please don't worry. It's perfectly normal to reach this stage in life and not know quite where to go next. It can take time for opportunities to emerge and for us to be ready and able to seize them when they do. So have confidence in your abilities and in your intuition. They've got you this far and they'll continue to serve you well if you let them. Also, remember to draw on others for support. That support comes in many forms, but make the most of it. Sometimes the people around us can see the choices that are in front of us more clearly than we can ourselves. Speak to those who know you well, your friends and others who support you. Get their point of view and let their perspective inform your next steps. So I want to be clear that today is not a goodbye from the University of Bristol. It's most definitely a see you soon. Before we see you again, remember that when you receive your awards, you will enter our alumni community of over 165,000 people worldwide. Remember also that we have an excellent careers service that's still here for you for up to 3 years after you finish your course, wherever you are in the world. They provide careers guidance, feedback on job applications, and interview practice. Just log into the My Career part of our webpage on the Careers Service website, and you can speak to one of our careers advisors. So before I make way for our distinguished speakers, all that remains to be said is that I very much look forward to welcoming you back to Bristol in the future for your graduation ceremony. In the meantime, as lockdown restrictions continue to ease, certainly here in England, I hope you're able to enjoy the remaining summer months and savour this moment of achievement. Many congratulations, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Fantastic words. So we're very mindful that we can't fully understand what it's like to be finishing your studies in these circumstances. So we're really pleased to have one of your fellow final year students join us today, who can give us some reflections on behalf of all of you. Your university career would have been about hard work and academic achievement, but it will also have been about the friendships and relationships you've made along the way. So now I would like to hand over to Lucy Jobson-Wood.
Hello. For those who don't know me, I'm Lucy, and I've recently finished my final year studying biomedical sciences. I firstly want to congratulate everyone for completing their degrees. I'm sure that everyone will agree with me when I say our final year at university didn't pan out quite as we thought it would. I definitely didn't expect to be sitting my final university exams in my bedroom. It's been a challenging and stressful few months, and completing our degrees in the middle of a pandemic was something I'm sure no one was prepared for. Nevertheless, I am also sure that future generations of students will admire the way that we, as a class of 2020, have dealt with this challenge, and so many of us have succeeded in completing our degrees in this strange time. I am in no doubt that I made the right decision with my choice of university. Bristol is undoubtedly a unique and amazing city, and the time I've spent here has been the best 3 years of my life. Hopefully you'd all agree with me that there is a real sense of community we feel as students here at Bristol, and it is a very welcoming city. We've even been lucky enough to live here through some recent historic events. The many friendships I've made, as well as the support provided by the university, have both hugely contributed to my enjoyment of student life. The guidance I received from admin and teaching staff, particularly my personal tutor and dissertation supervisors, has been invaluable. The change in teaching and assessment style due to COVID-19 was new for everyone, but I think both the university and we as students did well to adapt to this new style. Of course, there is more to student life than studying. Arriving at Freshers' Fair as overwhelmed first years, with the choice of hundreds of societies to join, seemed like a daunting prospect, but I think societies have ended up being a significant part of my time at university. Over the last 3 years, I've been a member of the Triathlon Club, the Athletics and Cross Country Club, the Vegetarian and Vegan Society, and even the Ginger Society. As biomedical sciences was a new course the year my cohort started, it didn't have its own society. So in first year, my friend Beatrice and I decided to start one. We are both very proud that the Biomed Society now has 85 members, and that we have been able to organise various events over the last couple of years. I think it's fair to say that my final year was something of a balancing act between writing my dissertation, my role in the committee of Med Society, having a part-time job, and, of course, trying to fit in a social life. However, all this ground to a halt with the beginning of lockdown, and I found myself missing the busyness of the previous months. I was trying to think about what I'll miss most when I eventually leave Bristol University. And I think it's the way that student life is so busy and vibrant. There are so many opportunities to get involved in a variety of activities, so many ways to challenge yourself academically, and so many new people to meet. As I can't bear to leave Bristol or the university, I'm staying here for another year to complete a research master's, and I hope to carry on living here in the future. Everyone will, of course, be going in various directions after finishing their course, and I'm definitely sad to be saying goodbye to lots of people, many of whom I hope have become lifelong friends. Whatever you've decided to do in the next stage of your life, I wish everyone the best of luck. Though I'm certain our lives here at Bristol and the many valuable experiences we've all had have prepared us well for the future. And who knows, it might not be too long before we're all back in Bristol for a big reunion.
Thank you so much, Lucy. I really take what you say about lifelong friends. You will be in touch with your fellow students for forevermore. Everybody will. That's beautifully said. Thank you very much indeed. So we know that your time at the University of Bristol has been a rich and varied one. The staff that have taught you, the professional services staff that have supported you, and the amazing wider city of Bristol, just as Lucy said, will have all shaped part of your experiences with us. There are so many more people that are able to make this event today that would like to wish you well. So I'd like to now just introduce a short film for you.
"2020 is a year we'll never forget for many very challenging reasons.
Very strange time. You've done incredibly well to get through.
But for all of you, it's a year of celebration. The year when your hard work, your commitment, your dedication to your studies comes to fruition.
We know that 2020 has been an extraordinary year for everyone. But take a look at this year as being an opportunity to connect back with the people who've made your time at Bristol special and the city which made all that come together.
What I loved most about my course was every day was not the same, and the challenges made me a stronger person.
I found it incredibly invigorating listening to other students' projects, what they were really excited about.
Studying in Bristol with many people from different parts of the world.
And meet with my friends. Even after the lockdown, I still maintain in contact with them online.
The diverse experiences in Bristol is my most valuable part of my last year.
Getting involved in practical stuff and also getting used to the technology that I have never used before.
Being at Bristol, I've been given the confidence to grab the opportunities that have been presented with me.
Learning how to be independent and live alone in a different country.
My favourite memory of being in Bristol this year has been being involved in the Students' Union. I think that students' voice is really important.
There's a lot to be said for Bristol, and I know that throughout your course you have experienced the city in all its greatness.
My favourite places in Bristol would be the Royal Fort Gardens in the university, Clifton Village and St Nicholas Market.
Clifton Suspension Bridge, Harbourside, the Docks, Castle Park, College Green, Cathedral, you name it and you have it.
Loads of independent cinemas and shops. And I love the music scene.
The nightlife, it is amazing here. That's one of the most important things I'm going to miss.
Bristol is the twin city of my hometown, Guangzhou, and I'm a crazy fan of Shaun the Sheep, the animation.
Bristol Harbourside, where I'm standing right now. I love being near to the water.
Going to the park, going to the pub, or studying together.
Wills Memorial. First time I went into the Wills Memorial building, I felt like if I was in a Harry Potter movie.
My favorite place in Bristol and in the university would be Student Union Living Room.
I do love the Queen's Building as well. It's pretty cliche for an engineer, but I love the Queen's Building.
The creative spirit, like you can see the graffiti here, and also the community spirit that everyone is here together to support each other.
Everything is beautiful about this city, and I'm gonna miss the city as well as the university.
We've had a pretty bizarre end to our degrees, so I think if we can support ourselves through this, then we're going to have friends for life.
Class of 2020, you have finished your degree in a global pandemic. That's amazing.
Despite no one really knowing what's next in the world, know that you've grown as people, even if it doesn't feel that way just yet, and face challenges that you've overcome to be where you are today.
You will have worked hard to get your degree, so very well done. Be proud of what you have achieved.
There's also a truth that it's in the middle of huge challenge that we really find out who we are. We know that students have really stepped up, been volunteers and helped the city to cope, and that's been incredibly welcome.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
And good luck for the future.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. Well done, guys.
Congratulations all the students of 2020, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate all the love, all right? And I'll see you again soon. There's a little blowtorch for you. All right?
Congratulations, class of 2020. We did it.
So thank you for choosing Bristol, and really, really well done, and good luck for the future.
You'll know from your time at Bristol how special this city is. And I speak as someone who graduated, moved away and came back. Why? Well, a little part of Bristol stays with you, and we'd be delighted to see you back in the city at some future point.
Keep us in your hearts, keep us in your minds, be an ambassador for us on the global stage.
On behalf of everyone at the university, I wish you all the very best for the future and look forward to welcoming you back to Bristol when we can for our traditional graduation ceremonies. So congratulations again and well done.
Hey, I'm James Blunt. A huge congratulations. You have just finished the best years of your life, and it's all downhill from here.
Great, so now it's time for us to hear from a very special speaker, our Chancellor, Sir Paul Nurse. Sir Paul is a geneticist and cell biologist whose discoveries have helped explain how the cell controls its cycle of growth and division. Working in fission yeast, he showed that the CDC2 gene encodes a protein kinase, which ensures the cell is ready to copy its DNA and go on and divide. He also discovered another protein kinase in fission yeast called WEE1, which controls size prior to division. Testament to the quality of both of his science and his humour, he named this the WEE1 gene because deletion of it caused yeast cells to divide prematurely, making them small, but importantly also because he was working in Edinburgh at the time. Paul's findings have a very broad significance because errors in cell growth and division underlie many disease states, including cancer. And Sir Paul's contributions to science were recognised with a knighthood in 1999. In addition, Sir Paul's discovery of cell cycle regulatory molecules saw him jointly awarded the Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine in 2001. Over the past 30 years, Sir Paul has held many senior research leadership roles. In 2003, he became the president of the Rockefeller University in New York City, where he continued his work on the cell cycle of fission yeast. In 2010, he was elected as president of the Royal Society for a 5-year term. And since 2011, he has been the director and chief executive of the Francis Crick Institute, a London-based biomedical research institute which opened in 2016. We've been very proud to have him as our Chancellor of the University since 2017, and he has conferred degrees at a number of our graduation ceremonies. So Paul, thank you for joining us today. I know you'll be disappointed not to be able to meet our life science students in person, but I would now like to invite you to give your address.
Well, thank you for that
introduction. And hello, everyone. As you've heard, I'm Paul Nurse, Chancellor of the University, although today I'm sitting in my lab at the Francis Crick Institute. Although this celebration is virtual, it's very special. It's special for all of you, and it's special for the university. Events like this are important. They're important occasions in the life of a university. And the first and probably the most important thing I want to say is congratulations to you all having completed your courses. It takes a lot of work to do well studying for a degree, so you should indeed be proud of yourselves. Most of you will have worked hard, just possibly not quite all of you, but most of you will have worked hard, and from this day on and for the rest of your lives, you will of course be graduates of the University of Bristol. It is a time to think of those who helped you get this on this course onto your degree. Your parents, your relatives, your partners, your children, your friends, all of them. They will have helped you in many different ways, and they are very proud of what you have achieved. I think you should also think a little of the university too, the professors and teachers, those who helped in your classes, those who keep the university running, those who look after the buildings, the facilities. In fact, everyone who works here who have contributed in their own ways to you being here today. They are proud of you too. They are proud of who you have become during your time at the university. And as you have heard, as Bristol graduates, you will be members of the Alumni Association. So make good use of that network as you take the next steps in your life. It's probably a rather poignant time for you. Some of you will be leaving Bristol, leaving your colleagues, leaving the friends you have made here. It's a time of change, a time of transition, perhaps of nostalgia, perhaps even some sadness. But you are about to embark on a new phase of your life, one that will be exciting, one that is full of possibilities. And wherever you go, whatever you do, remember what you have learnt here. You will have been taught how to think critically, to value freedom of expression, to challenge ideas and opinions. Robert Hutchins, who was Chancellor of Chicago University, summed all of this up well, I think, when he said, "Education is not to reform students or to amuse them, or even to make them expert technicians. It is to inflame their intellects, to teach them to think." You will have learnt from your studies the importance of accuracy, honesty, and consistency in your work, the need to pursue truth wherever it may lead, and how uncomfortable that may be. This, frankly, has never been more important than now. In these days of post-truth, of alternative facts, where the arguments of experts can be derided and replaced by unsubstantiated soundbites, by those who seek to influence public opinion without either the arguments, the evidence, or the ability to do so. This needs to be countered, and you are well placed to do it. You will have been shown the importance of thinking differently, of being skeptical, especially, I may say, about your own ideas and your own opinions. You will have discovered how intellectual activity thrives on the permeability of ideas and of people, how it flourishes in environments that pool intelligence, that minimize barriers, that are open to free exchange and collaboration, that are tolerant of others and tolerant of diversity of their ideas. Openness, permeability, and tolerance are crucial for an effective and productive society, and are increasingly needed to guide us through uncertain times. As Chancellor, I'm expected to offer some general advice to those about to graduate. This is a challenge. I find it rather daunting. I'm always reminded of what Oscar Wilde thought about advice. He said, "The only thing to do with good advice is to pass it on. It is never of any use to oneself." But despite this warning, I will say a few things. Firstly, I recommend you keep your curiosity. Curiosity is a feature of youth. It can diminish as you get older. Resist this. Remain curious. The world is a wonderful place. It is endlessly interesting. It will enchant you all your life if you remain interested in it. The historian George Trevelyan identified the appetite for knowledge as a central urge of the civilized world. He said, "Disinterested intellectual curiosity is the lifeblood of real civilization." Secondly, be an enthusiast. Embrace causes. Pursue your interests. Care about the world. Care about the people in it and around you. When necessary, be passionate about all these things and keep a sense of urgency. Do not let the grass grow under your feet. Remember the 1st century Latin poet Horace. Carpe diem, while we are talking, time is fleeing, seize the day. Thirdly, do keep a sense of humour. There is a danger, while you're being busy, being intensely curious, enthusiastic, passionate, that perhaps you might begin to take yourself a little too seriously. The best way to counter the risk of such pomposity is to remember to laugh, particularly to laugh at yourself. And that is indeed one of the best antidotes to the downs in life, and you will have downs, and that is humour. A day without laughter is frankly a day wasted. So these are my 3 general pieces of advice for you. But I have one more to finish with. The great British scientist Max Perutz, after making a speech a little like this one, said, "One final word. Never follow the advice of your elders." Students, this is your day. Congratulations to the class of 2020, and congratulations on all you have achieved, and good luck in your futures. And in your lives ahead, always remember the University of Bristol, which helped you on your way. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Paul. So Sir Paul has kindly agreed to answer a few questions, and we've had some come in already. So Paul, if you're ready, maybe I could ask the first one. Zhejing Zhuang has said or asked, "What is your drive to stay innovative in life sciences?"
Well, I think I've already said it in my speech. I'm intensely curious about the world myself. I always have wanted, all my life, and I still do, to know how things work. What drives me to come into the lab each day, or nearly each day, is to ask questions and try and find the answers. So being curious is my drive.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. What do you think will be the greatest challenge for bioscientific research in the future featuring coronavirus? And that's coming from Morena Hall.
Well, I think coronavirus is a lesson to us all. We have been aware of the dangers of pandemics for centuries. We are advanced nations with biomedical knowledge and skills, and yet we sleptwalked into a crisis. And we should not let that happen again. We need to be better prepared of how to deal with it immediately. We need to learn the lessons from what's just happened, and we need to be able to cope with it better than the world has up until now. And that is something which many of you in this class of 2020 will perhaps be able to help us with. So it It is a challenge, but it is one we can meet, but we have to recognize it as a problem, and we have to raise our ambition to be able to deal with it.
Right, thank you. Tom Pratley asks, in the last couple of years, the reach and impact of pseudoscience has exploded. How can we hold people accountable?
Well, there's always been pseudoscience. That isn't new. What is perhaps different is that crazy ideas get circulated and popularized in social media in a way that we haven't seen before. And how do we deal with it? We fight it. We fight it at every opportunity. We counter it with arguments that can destroy the views of anti-vaxxers, the flat earth individuals and their like. We live in an increasingly technocratic society driven by science and science understanding. We have to engage society in dealing with science, and we can only do that well if we counter these false truths that get popularized in the media. It's a responsibility for all of us, responsibility for all of you out there, and it is essential, in my view, for the future of society and our civilization.
Thank you. And related to this, we've just had a question come in from Frankie Langeland. In 2020, the pandemic has brought scientific debate into the mainstream media, and research has been delivered rapidly and undiluted. Going forward, do you think scientists should be more direct, less apologetic in how they deliver their research to policymakers and the public?
Well, I think that science, as I just said in the answer to the previous question, will have an increasing role in society as we get more technocratic, more complex. So it's absolutely crucial that scientists have a healthy relationship with policymakers and the public as a whole. And what do we need to have to achieve that? Well, one thing is an openness and honesty to communicate what we do know and also what we don't know. There is a need for a certain humility in what we communicate, because it's with humility and honesty that you earn trust, and it is trust that we have to have in science and scientists if we are to weather storms such as this pandemic. So good and proper communications and explanations, both for policymakers and the public as a whole, is a critical task that we scientists have to master in the future.
Wonderful, thanks. Tabea Maria Hassa asks, if you could give advice to your younger self upon graduation, what would it be?
Well, I quite like Max Perutz. Don't take too much notice of what your elders say.
I think that's a perfect answer. Thank you. And finally, Joanna Riley asks, what is your favourite species of Australian animal or plant? And I'm going to ask, and why?
Oh my goodness. That's the hardest one of all. I really like the duck-billed platypus. It's so ridiculous. It's so wonderful. When they first came across it, that is 18th century explorers from Europe, what could they have thought of that duck-billed platypus? Even Darwin, Charles Darwin, was completely astonished by it. I think that would be my choice.
That's a great answer. So Paul, thank you very, very much indeed. Thank you for your speech. Thank you for your thoughts. They're incredibly wise as always. And thank you again.
Thank you. And well done to everybody once again.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so we're now coming towards the end of the celebration event, but it's time now, before we do, for some student performances. And first up, we have the Bristol University Singers.
Hello, Bristol Class of 2020. My name is Eleanor Cooper and I am Musical Director of Bristol University Singers, the university's top auditioned choral ensemble. I'm very proud to present a performance recorded by Bristol University Singers during lockdown. We're saying goodbye to a large number of final year students from across all faculties this year and wish them and all of you the very best. Here is Underneath the Stars by Kate Rusby, arranged here by Jim Clements.
Oh. sure they'd like me if they only met me. They come and go of their own freely,
That's wonderful. So we will shortly finish the event with one final performance from our Sinfonia Society, and then your messages will be displayed and the chat will remain open until about 11:15 and the event will close. After the performance, there will also be a short poll to complete, along with some important links in respect of the Careers Service and Alumni Association. Thank you to all of our guest speakers, and on behalf of everyone at the University of Bristol, including all our faculty staff, it has been such a pleasure to have you here with us on this journey with you. And a lovely wave from everybody there. So it just remains for me to thank you for joining us today. We sincerely hope it won't be long until you can welcome you back in person to the university for your graduation ceremonies. You've had to meet many challenges during your time at Bristol, none more so than the challenges placed before you by the COVID-19 pandemic, which meant you had to shift rapidly to new ways of learning and being assessed for your degrees. You have met every single one of these challenges extraordinarily well, and I congratulate all of you, as I do my faculty colleagues who are equally up for this once-in-a-lifetime challenge. I know in the most normal of times that the University of Bristol helps to equip you with the skills and knowledge you need to make a real impact in your chosen field. But from where I sit, I would say that by getting through the challenges of COVID-19 so remarkably well, you will be able to get through anything. Well done, everybody. We are sure you will go on and do great things. We'd love to hear from you, and we're extremely proud of you all. So from all of us at the University of Bristol, it is not goodbye, it is a see you later. Thank you.
My name is Eniok Para. I'm a final year law student at the University of Bristol, and I also conduct the Bristol University Sinfonia Symphony Orchestra. Sinfonia is the university's orchestral society consisting of two orchestras, our Audition Symphony Orchestra and our Audition Philharmonic Orchestra. What you're about to hear is a socially distanced virtual performance put together by our members during the lockdown, a handful of which are final year students. So we hope you enjoy. See you soon.
Finally, France.
Hi, I'm Tim. I'm the new president of Symphonia. This video was made as part of the music department's virtual Summerfest, and we are raising money for the North Bristol Food Bank. So if you could head over to the Just Giving link down below to show your support, it would be greatly appreciated.
Sorry, Annie, I would do another take, but I think I need to get out of here because I can't feel this leg.